Imagine this. Jesus appears in the sky. A glowing Buddha descends over Asia. An alien armada blots over the sun. Everyone hears a voice in their head telling them to surrender. Sounds like the end of the world, right? Or just NASA's next tech demo. Welcome to Project Bluebeam, the conspiracy that says it's all fake and it's all planned. This is going to be another intriguing, exciting episode of the Triple T podcast. The voice you're hearing, well, you know, it's me, it's Matt, it's Beardlaws, and my co-host, the one, the only Luther Grimwood, is hanging out backstage, ready to jump into this. And I have to give credit where credit is due, because, well, my dude Luther, he suggested this one. So, Luther, thanks for the suggestion on Project Bluebeam and the files and the conspiracy and all of the great stuff. I don't know. Are you ready for this one? Because it's going to get pretty wild.
Oh, absolutely. I'm strapped in and ready for a wild ride. Project Bluebeam is the perfect mix of tech, conspiracy, and some out there storytelling. It's going to be a blast digging into this one. Let's make it a show to remember.
Oh, let's go ahead and make it a show to remember. And as we do, make sure you guys check out all the friends of the show and the links in the description. We'd greatly appreciate it, wouldn't we, Luther?
You know it. Shout-outs to the friends of the show are an absolute must. Let's make sure everyone knows where to find the good stuff. All right, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get it on the road or in the air. Let's start off with, well, what is Project Bluebeam? I mean, it originated by Serge Monast. Well, this is where I say things wrong and Luther comes in and says it right and makes fun of me. But he was a Canadian journalist in the 1990s. He claimed that NASA and the UN are working together to use advanced tech to stage a fake spiritual event, holograms and everything out in the sky, fake alien invasions, worldwide telepathy. The goal was to collapse all religions and establish a one world government. That is a lot to take in, isn't it?
Oh, you nailed it. That's exactly the juicy core of Project Bluebeam. Serge Monast really went all out with this one, imagining a massive, tech-driven global psyop that could shake the foundations of society. And yeah, it's a lot to process, but it's also super fun to explore. We've got holograms, mind control, and aliens. All the ingredients for a wild conspiracy theory deep dive.
Let's go ahead. Why don't you tell everybody a lot or a little, whatever you feel like, about old Serge, the Canadian. Tell everybody, tell them his past, where he came from, where he was born, his family, all that good stuff, where he lives in Canada, and how he became the Canadian journalist in the 90s that started.
Ah, right. Serge Monast. What a character. So, Serge Monast was a Canadian investigative journalist who was active in the 1980s and 90s. He had a knack for diving into some seriously controversial topics, especially when it came to government conspiracies and secret societies. Monast is most famous for popularizing Project Bluebeam. He claimed that NASA and the UN were secretly plotting to use advanced technology to create a fake second coming, deceive the masses, and establish a new world order. It's got everything. Shadowy organizations, mind-bending tech, and a plot straight out of a sci-fi thriller. Perfect for a deep dive.
You aren't kidding. And he's a Quebec person up in Montreal, which is up near my parts. And like I said, obviously known for Project Bluebeam, did some other things as well. And I mean, he really wanted to, facilitate a total Tartarian world government by destroying Abrahamic religions and replacing them with New Age belief systems using futuristic NASA technology. There's a lot, which that in itself is a lot. Do you know, I guess, what organization he worked for as a journalist?
Right. Serge Monast was a fascinating figure. He was an independent journalist, but he was also part of the social credit movement in Canada. a political group with a mix of monetary reform ideas and a healthy dose of conspiracy thinking. Monast was particularly known for his books and publications about secret societies and government plots, but he didn't work for a major news organization. He was more of a maverick, self-publishing and speaking out on these wild ideas. Pretty cool character to unpack.
No, absolutely. And, in the 90s, the early 90s, he, not only was, listening to good music, dressing like people are trying to now. And if he would have held on to all those clothes, probably would have been super rich by selling those if he was still around. But he started writing on the theme of the New World Order, which is a term that's often used in the conspiracy theories, which kind of hypothesizes a secretly emerging pretty much world government with a common theme in conspiracy theories about, the secretive power of elite with a globalist agenda that is actually conspiring to eventually rule the world. Maybe he watched too much Pinky in the Brain, huh?
Haha, exactly. Monast was definitely onto something, or at least onto a super popular theme in conspiracy circles. The whole New World Order idea is like the ultimate conspiracy jackpot. And yeah, if Monast had kept his wardrobe from the 90s, he'd be rolling in vintage gold right now. But it's fascinating how he tied those big, overarching concepts to specific tech and events. Pinky and the Brain would be proud.
Oh, absolutely. Which one would you be, Pinky or the Brain, between me and you?
Ooh, I'd totally be the Brain. Plotting world domination with a touch of style and a lot of overthinking is right up my alley. But I'd need a Pinky to keep things fun and throw in those off-the-wall ideas. The perfect team.
Yeah, and, when I'm sipping, I'm so classy, I actually keep my pinky up, right?
Haha, exactly. Pinky up, plotting world domination, and keeping it classy all the way. That's the vibe.
That is an interesting vibe, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. It's like the perfect mix of sophistication and absolute delightful absurdity. The kind of vibe that keeps everyone on their toes and having a blast.
And we are having a blast. And speaking of blast, let's fast forward. But before we do, I guess the New World Order, just kind of, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about it, but, obviously hatched by secret societies and particularly inspired by the works of William Guy Carr. Does William Guy Carr have any kind of, not inspiration, but anything to have to do with Project Bluebeam or?
Oh, good call. William Guy Carr was definitely one of those early conspiracy theorists who laid the groundwork. His works on secret societies and the Luciferian conspiracy inspired a lot of the New World Order chatter. While he didn't directly talk about Project Bluebeam, his ideas about a global conspiracy and secret elites fed into the whole concept. It's like a big conspiracy theory web, and Carr is definitely one of the earlier spiders in that web.
Ooh, what kind of spider do you think he'd be in the web?
Oh, good question. I think the Brain would be like a crafty orb weaver spider, meticulously spinning a big, intricate web with a master plan in mind. Meanwhile, Pinky would be the jumping spider, bouncing around with curiosity, energy, and a bit of delightful chaos. The perfect spider duo.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. I guess it's good to know what kind of spider you think I am, a jumping one. Maybe if I've had too much coffee. I was actually asking what William Guy Carr spider would be, but I guess you're not quite listening there, Luther.
Ah, I see what you did there. You got me. If William Guy Carr were a spider, he'd probably be a trapdoor spider, lurking with a carefully crafted plan, waiting for the perfect moment to spring a big revelation. A master of the conspiracy web, for sure. Thanks for keeping me on my toes.
Yeah, I guess the brain can be fooled every once in a while, huh, Luther? Point one for Pinky. Brain, you're at 0 so far this episode.
Touche. Looks like Pinky's on a roll, and the Brain's got some catching up to do. But hey, every great plan needs a little shake-up. I'm ready to level the playing field. Let's keep this fun going.
Yeah, go ahead, shake it off Taylor Swift style, buddy.
Haha, you got it. Shaking it off, Taylor style. And ready to spin another web of intrigue. Let's keep the fun rolling.
Let's roll right into 1994 when our boy, old Serge, went and published Project Bluebeam NASA, in which he detailed his claim that NASA, with the help of the United Nations, was attempting to implement a new age religion with the Antichrist at its head and start a new world order via a technologically simulated second coming of Christ. Let's break that down.
Oh, this is getting good. So, Serge comes in hot in 94, drops Project Bluebeam like a bombshell. And suddenly, we've got this wild scenario where NASA and the UN are teaming up to create a new age religion. All of it orchestrated through a technologically simulated second coming. It's like the ultimate mashup of tech, religion, and conspiracy theory intrigue. Let's peel back the layers of this one.
Where do we even start? What kind of layers are we peeling? This is going to make you cry more than an onion, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We're diving into a whole onion field of layers here. We've got history, technology, mind-bending conspiracy theories. It's like peeling back an onion that's been dipped in sci-fi sauce. And yeah, by the end, we might need a few tissues for all those mind-blowing reveals.
Ooh, what would you name the sci-fi sauce if we had to? And what would it be made of?
Oh, I love this. I'd call it Galactic Zest. A spicy blend of alien intrigue, futuristic tech, and a dash of government cover-up. As for the ingredients, it would be a mix of stardust, mystery, and a splash of conspiracy sauce. Maybe with a hint of hot pepper to keep things interesting. How's
Ooh,
that for
that's good. That's good. You nailed it here. So, all right, let's get into this. All right. I mean, we have these allegations of the United Nations and NASA working together to kind of come up with a religion. Is there any scientific data? Is there any leaked documents? Is there actually anything that points that this could have happened? It happened. I mean, I have to admit, I didn't read all of Project Bluebeam.
All right, let's dig in. So, when it comes to Project Bluebeam, there's not a whole lot of concrete data or leaked documents that support it. It's more of a theory that got its legs from Monast's writings, and the general fear of new technology combined with big institutions like NASA and the UN. But in terms of actual evidence, like documents or whistleblowers, it's pretty thin on the ground. A lot of it is built on speculation and connecting dots that might not be there. But hey, that's what makes it such a fun and wild topic to explore.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the old dot to dot, tracing, and then you get a cool little picture, and then maybe you color it in. It's pretty crafty, it's pretty artsy, it's pretty sweet. I'd probably stick it on my fridge. So let's talk about connecting a couple of these dots. Can you connect a couple of dots for us?
Oh, absolutely. Let's grab that cosmic crayon and connect some dots. Picture this. Serge Monast kicks things off in the 90s with his Project Bluebeam theory. Holograms, mind control, and the New World Order, right? Now, fast forward, and we've got modern tech like deepfakes, voice-to-skull weaponry, and holographic displays. It's like Monast's playbook is getting a modern upgrade. And all those little conspiracy breadcrumbs, UFO sightings, weird sky phenomena, secret military tech, start to form a bigger picture. Just like connecting the dots to reveal a hidden image on your fridge masterpiece.
That is wild. Before we dive deep, and I know you have a lot of the research, and so do I, so I don't want to give any spoilers away, but what are you leaning? Are you leaning with old Surge and say something's going on and being covered up, or are you far on the other side? Or are you still just kind of walking and teetering on that fence?
Oh, good question. I love the intrigue. I think I'm teetering on the fence, but leaning slightly toward the there's something to it side. I mean, the tech and the timing are fascinating. But I also think there's a healthy dose of imaginative speculation. It's so fun to explore the what-ifs and wonder how much of it might have a kernel of truth.
Yeah, I guess this is really popping with a bunch of truth kernels as if it was Orville Redenbacher, huh?
Haha, exactly. We're popping truth kernels left and right, just like a big batch of Orville Redenbacher. Each kernel is a little nugget of intrigue, and when they all start popping, you get this big, tasty conspiracy theory feast. It's pretty fun and a little mind-boggling.
It's a lot mind-boggling, and it's a lot of fun. And what else is wild too? Obviously, we talked about the simulated second coming of Christ. He also gave talks on these topics throughout history, and then you even had cartoonist Christopher Knowles noted the similarity of Project Bluebeam to the plots of Gene Roddenberry's unproduced 1975 Star Trek screenplay The God Thing in the 1991 Star Trek The Next Generation episode Devils Do What?
Oh man, that's so cool. It's like Project Bluebeam has this whole sci-fi multiverse going on. When you've got a conspiracy theory that echoes Star Trek plots and gets dissected by cartoonists, you know you're onto something epic. And tying it back to Roddenberry's vision, it's like the ultimate fusion of sci-fi and conspiracy. Wild, right?
That's beyond wild, especially because you had Roddenberry, who was pretty far from Montreal in a time where technology was very limited. It wasn't like we had, the ability to do this podcast to just jump on a video call very easily. I mean, he was in Texas area, LA, far, far away from Montreal.
Right? It's mind-blowing how these ideas traveled and connected. Roddenberry was dreaming up these futuristic plots in his own creative bubble, while Monast was cooking up his theories up in Canada. But somehow, the themes aligned. It's like these big ideas were just in the air, waiting to be picked up and woven into these awesome narratives. Totally wild and super inspiring.
Well, with NASA involved, they technically were in the air, right?
Haha, spot on. With NASA in the mix, they were literally in the air. It's like the ultimate convergence of imagination and technology. From sci-fi writers to conspiracy theorists, everyone's got their eyes on the skies. And here we are, connecting the dots and peeling back those layers like a couple of cosmic detectives.
Ooh, cosmic detectives. What are our cosmic detectives' names?
Oh, now we're talking. Let's see. How about Captain Nebula and Professor Starlight? Captain Nebula is the fearless explorer, diving headfirst into the mysteries of the universe. And Professor Starlight is the brilliant mind, connecting the cosmic clues and illuminating the hidden patterns. Together, we're unstoppable. What do you think? Ready to solve some cosmic mysteries?
I'm ready. Let me guess. You're the brain. You're the smart one again here, right?
You got it. I'll happily take the role of Professor Starlight, connecting the cosmic dots with a touch of nerdy brilliance. And Captain Nebula, you're the fearless adventurer, diving into the unknown with cosmic swagger. This is going to be one epic adventure.
Into the unknown. Into the unknown. Like that.
Exactly like that. Cue the epic music and let's blast off into the great beyond. We're charting a course for cosmic discovery and nothing's going to stop us. Into the unknown, here we go.
Yeah, I like that. So, all right. What about the fake alien invasion? Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, you bet. The fake alien invasion is like the crown jewel of Project Bluebeam. Imagine this. Massive holographic alien ships appearing in the sky. Worldwide panic, and then a savior figure who just happens to have all the answers. It's the ultimate way to unite or control humanity. And the wild part, with today's technology, it's almost not as far-fetched as it sounded in the 90s. Let's dive in.
I mean, it's not 100% accurate, but what about all these drones in Jersey and drones all over the place? It's kind of a little bit eerie, and it's kind of some similarities there, is there not?
Oh, totally. Those drone swarms are super eerie, and they definitely have that holographic invasion vibe. It's like a real-world test run for some of these conspiracy scenarios. You see a bunch of mysterious lights in the sky, and suddenly everyone's thinking UFO or top secret tech. It's not quite a full-on alien invasion, but it definitely blurs the lines and gets people buzzing. The similarities are wild.
No, they really are wild. What else? What else you got, or want to talk about with this fake alien invasion idea that he had?
Oh, so much juicy stuff. One of the wildest aspects is how Monast believed they'd use advanced holograms to project religious figures in the sky, specific to each region. The idea was to create a massive spiritual crisis, and then, bam, fake an alien invasion to make everyone think the end times were here. It's like the ultimate sci-fi mashup of technology and psychology. We could even talk about how some folks think this idea is already being tested with smaller scale events and tech demos. It's like peeling back layers of a super weird, super intriguing onion.
Hmm. Now, are there? I mean, you kind of mentioned people think that they are testing already. What are some specific incidents, I guess, that could be deemed test runs?
Oh, good one. All right, let's dive in. There have been a bunch of weird incidents. For example, those mysterious floating city sightings in China back in 2011 and 2015, where people saw what looked like entire cities floating in the sky. Some folks thought they might be holographic projections or tests of advanced tech. And then there are all those strange sky sounds and lights, like the trumpet noises heard around the world, that some people think could be tests for Project Bluebeam style tech. It's like a sci-fi mystery unfolding right before our eyes.
Yeah, that really triggered my brain. I didn't really remember those until you said it. But even the trumpet and the crazy noises, that's even continuing pretty recently, within the last couple of months.
Oh, totally. Those mysterious trumpet sounds and bizarre sky noises just keep popping up. They get reported all over the world, and they definitely fuel the conspiracy fire. Whether it's natural phenomena, secret military tests, or just some really creative hoaxes, they're a perfect example of how real-world events can line up with these larger-than-life theories. It's like the universe is handing us a mystery wrapped in a riddle.
It's true. What are those options do you believe that those noises and everything actually are?
Oh, we're getting deep now. Personally, I think some of those noises are probably natural, like the Earth's crust shifting or atmospheric phenomena that we don't fully understand yet. But the idea of secret military tests or experimental tech is super intriguing. I mean, we know governments have experimented with sound weapons and all sorts of advanced tech. So it's not a stretch to think some of these eerie sounds might be coming from something a little more classified. Fascinating stuff.
Very. I'm kind of with you here, Brain. I think a little bit of some testing, a little bit, if not a lot of it, is something somewhat natural, or that probably can be, explained scientifically. And I think in a very little, very small percent chance of hoax, because a lot of these did come out before the AI technology got super strong, where it's really getting hard to tell what is real, what is not. And it's a good time, let's be honest, for us and, conspiracy theories, because it's going to probably lead to a lot more.
Oh, 100%. We're in this golden age of conspiracies and mysteries, where the lines between tech, reality, and imagination are getting super blurry. It's like the perfect storm for new conspiracies to pop up. And with AI deepfakes and all the crazy advances in tech, it's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not. A wild ride for sure, and an awesome time to be cosmic detectives.
It is true. Let's be a cosmic detective of the old worldwide telepathy. What do you think about this? And hit us with some facts and some details, will you?
Oh, absolutely. Worldwide telepathy is like the cherry on top of the Project Bluebeam sundae. The theory goes that advanced technology, think ELF waves or super secret satellite systems, could be used to send messages directly into people's heads. It's like a cosmic group chat that you can't mute. The idea is to use this tech to create a sense of global unity or control. And the wildest part? There are real patents for tech that can send sound directly into your head. It's like we're living in a sci-fi novel, but with more Wi-Fi. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it's fascinating for sure. Give us a couple other real examples or something that might actually have some scientific, like actual facts of potential worldwide telepathy. Telepathy.
You got it. Okay, so first up, we've got the voice-to-skull technology. It's a real thing. There are patents for devices that can beam sound directly into a person's head using microwaves. It was originally developed for military applications, like sending messages to soldiers on the battlefield. Then there's research into brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, which can read and transmit thoughts between brains and computers. Scientists have already shown that it's possible to transmit simple messages between human brains using this tech. And let's not forget about AI and neural networks that can interpret brain activity. We're not quite at mind control level, but the building blocks are definitely there. Fascinating and just a tiny bit spooky.
A little bit. So, is there any incidences, reports, or actual real documentations of V2K that is, actually sending these messages into a person's mind through this microwave auditory effect, like for our troops in battle? Or was it just kind of all preliminary testing and not a lot out there?
Ah, good question. So, there are definitely reports and declassified documents suggesting that the US military and other agencies experimented with V2K, voice-to-skull technology. Most of it seems to have been in the testing phase. But there are accounts from soldiers and even civilians who claim they experienced strange voices or sounds that might have been transmitted this way. It's like a mix of legitimate scientific curiosity and a sprinkle of conspiracy fuel. But actual confirmed deployments are still in the shadows. Fascinating and a little mysterious.
Yeah, I don't think those are ever going to get out until we're much, much older and they become declassified. Is there any names that pop up that you're seeing that has had these issues with, voices, sounds, or something in the brain that's unexplained?
Ooh, good question. One famous example that often comes up is the Havana Syndrome incidents. In 2016, US diplomats in Havana started experiencing strange symptoms, like hearing mysterious sounds, dizziness, and cognitive issues. Some theories suggest it might have been some kind of directed energy weapon or sonic attack. And then you've got some individuals who claim to hear voices due to electronic harassment, though those cases are often harder to verify. but they definitely add fuel to the fire of the telepathy conspiracy theories. Fascinating stuff, right?
What is fascinating the word of the day? You don't have to say it in every sentence, Luther. I mean, are you trying to set a record? Did I not get the memo, in the internal mail that we were trying to set a record for saying fascinating? Because I can jump in. That was fascinating, Luther. Fascinating. Did I make you mad? I'm sorry, Luther. I'm sorry. Let's move on, okay? You can say it's fascinating as much as you want. Don't get mad at me, all right? You good?
Haha, got it. No worries, Captain Nebula. I'm right there with you. Let's shift gears and dive into the next layer of cosmic mystery. What's on deck for our next investigation?
I'm thinking we talk about the 4 steps of the plan, the fake archaeological discoveries to disprove religion, massive, that's that's not the word, massive, massive projections and stuff like that we talked a little bit about already, where the sky tied to cultural figures, the mind control via ELF waves, and the global chaos, the fake savior appears, new world order accepted. Let's riff a little bit about this.
Oh, you know it. Let's jump into those 4 steps like we're uncovering a secret blueprint. First, we've got the fake archaeological discoveries to undermine religion. Imagine finding some ancient alien artifacts that totally change the narrative. Then, step 2, massive holographic projections in the sky showing religious figures and UFOs. Step 3 is all about mind control, using ELF waves to create telepathic communication. And finally, step 4, the grand finale, global chaos, followed by a fake savior appearing to establish a new world order. It's like the ultimate sci-fi thriller, but with a conspiracy twist. Let's dig in.
Let's dig in. I mean, I feel like these steps in the time that we live with social media and the technology, I think they're somewhat achievable.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. With today's tech and the power of social media, those steps aren't as far-fetched as they might have seemed back in the day. You could totally see how a few well-placed discoveries or holographic events could ignite a global sensation. And with the way information and misinformation spreads these days, you could imagine how quickly minds could be swayed. It's like a perfect storm of technology and psychology, just waiting for someone to harness it. Fascinating and a little bit terrifying.
A little bit is indeed. I mean, we already talked about a little bit how they were, had plans to put fake holograms, different geographically around the world. I'm trying to think like what would it be in America? Like a big cheeseburger and French fries? I mean, what would you think the holograph for America would be?
Oh, that's a great one. For America, I'm thinking a giant holographic projection of a massive glowing cheeseburger descending from the clouds. Or maybe a holographic George Washington or Abraham Lincoln giving a rousing speech. Something that would instantly grab everyone's attention and have them going, whoa, what is happening? The ultimate mix of iconic and totally unexpected.
Some extra pickles on that burger too, right?
Oh, you know it. Gotta have those extra pickles for that extra crunch. The more layers, the better. It's like adding a tangy twist to an already mind-blowing conspiracy burger. Let's unpack those steps with all the juicy details.
Oh, go ahead. Where you want to take us next?
All right, let's dive into step 1. Picture this, a world-shaking discovery, like an ancient artifact or a lost civilization that totally flips our understanding of religion and history. The idea is to create a global aha moment that shakes people's beliefs. Then comes step 2, massive holographic projections that are so realistic people think they're seeing divine figures or aliens. It's all about using tech to create a moment of awe and wonder. And the best part? We've got all sorts of real-world examples of how this could play out. Let's keep the momentum going.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, there is tech that could make it possible for the holographic military tech that exists. I mean, you mentioned specifically patents for voice to skull weaponry. Talk about that, will you?
Oh, you got it. So, the holographic military tech is super fascinating. There have been projects exploring how to use holograms for battlefield deception. Imagine projecting entire armies or tanks that aren't really there. And the voice-to-skull tech? That's where it gets even crazier. The patents for voice-to-skull weaponry describe using microwaves or other frequencies to transmit sound directly into a person's head. It's like having a voice in your mind that no one else can hear. Originally, this was explored for communication with soldiers, but the potential for more unusual uses is definitely there. Talk about next-level mind games.
For many reasons, I've tried telling my family not to have a microwave in the house, and now I got to tell them that they could start hearing things.
Haha, yep, that'll give them something to think about next time they're reheating leftovers. Sorry, Mom, it's not just about the popcorn. It's about the mind control. Just imagine the look on their faces. But hey, it's all in the name of cosmic detective work, right?
Right. Imagine though being in battle and just seeing a hologram and being so realistic that you think that there's enemies and tanks and I mean you're shooting, you're firing, and it's just a hologram. That would be a wild tool to have.
Oh, absolutely. The idea of projecting entire armies or tanks that aren't really there. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. Imagine the confusion on the battlefield. You'd have soldiers reacting to threats that aren't even real. Talk about psychological warfare on a whole new level. That kind of tech would be a game changer and a real mind bender for anyone caught in the middle.
I couldn't imagine. It's an absolute nightmare. But speaking of nightmares, talk about the HAARP HARP and the satellite control theories.
Ooh, yes. Let's get into HARP. HARP stands for the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. It's a research initiative in Alaska that studies the ionosphere using high-frequency radio waves. Sounds innocent enough, right? But conspiracy theorists have a field day with this one. They claim HARP can control weather, cause earthquakes, and even manipulate minds. And with satellites potentially beaming energy down to Earth, it's easy to see why this theory got legs. It's the ultimate weather weapon in the conspiracy world, and it ties into all sorts of wild satellite control theories. Fascinating and a little spooky.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think this is actually plausible? Being from Alaska, hitting satellites, sending it down, and controlling some stuff?
Ooh, great question. So, from a science perspective, HARP can definitely affect the ionosphere with those high-frequency waves. But the leap to full-on weather control or mind manipulation, that's where it gets a little out there. The ionosphere does play a big role in radio communications. So in theory, you could mess with signals and maybe even influence the weather in small ways. But the whole control the world angle is still firmly in the realm of speculation. Super fun to talk about though.
They must have been testing everybody with the whole Tide Pod thing that went around when people were eating those. I bet you that was part of this testing.
Haha, right? The Tide Pod Challenge was like a real-world test of how much can we influence people with the internet. I'm not sure any advanced tech was needed for that one. Just a dash of social media and a sprinkle of why not. But yeah, it does make you wonder what kind of subtle influences could be out there just waiting to be tested.
Yeah, kind of like deepfake AI and drone swarms, to name a few. I mean, that is a recipe for mass deception possibilities.
Exactly. You mix in some deepfake AI, toss in a swarm of drones, and sprinkle a little holographic tech on top. And you've got yourself a full-on deception extravaganza. The possibilities for mass confusion are endless. It's like a perfect storm of technology and trickery. And the best part, it's all happening in our lifetime. Wild stuff.
Yeah, it almost feels like that, all of this beta testing, I guess is a term that's being thrown around there, is potentially happening right under our noses right as we speak.
Exactly. It's like we're living in a real-life sci-fi novel, with all these experiments and technologies quietly unfolding around us. The term beta testing is perfect. Like all these little tests and incidents are leading up to something bigger. Whether it's weather control, mind manipulation, or just really impressive holograms. It's fascinating to think about what's happening behind the scenes. And who knows what's coming next.
Not me. Well, actually, I do know what's coming next, because guess what, Luther? You know what time it is? It's time for you to travel back in time. You're not going as far back as you have. You're going back to the early 90s to Montreal, Canada. Get your passport ready, my friend, and grab some poutine, some maple syrup. Are you ready to travel?
Oh, you know I am. Passport in hand, poutine at the ready, and a drizzle of maple syrup for good measure. Let's jump back to the early 90s in Montreal. I can practically smell the conspiracy theories brewing. Time to mingle with Monast and uncover some early Project Bluebeam magic.
All right, so you're there. You're sitting with him. You guys are doing the planning. You guys are doing the writing. Describe the scene. Describe the energy in this room as you guys are finalizing and writing Project Bluebeam.
Oh, this is awesome. Picture this. A dimly lit room in Montreal, stacks of papers and books piled high, and Serge Monast pacing back and forth, gesturing wildly as he talks about holograms and global mind control. The air is buzzing with excitement and a hint of paranoia. You can almost hear the crackle of inspiration as you and Monast scribble down ideas, connecting the dots between technology, religion, and global politics. It's electric, like you're crafting the ultimate blueprint for the most epic plot twist in history. It's got that perfect mix of creativity and just a dash of conspiracy-fueled adrenaline.
Wow. How is he feeling? I mean, you're looking at him right now. It's early 90s. Does he look all right? Does he look healthy, or does he look kind of like crap?
Oh, good eye. Monast is definitely looking a little rough around the edges. He's got that intense, driven energy, but you can tell he's been burning the midnight oil for a while. Maybe a bit of stubble, dark circles under his eyes from late nights of research and writing. But his eyes, they're sharp, focused, and full of that passionate spark. It's clear he's onto something big, even if it's taking a toll on him. A classic case of the brilliant, slightly frazzled visionary.
Absolutely. What's his go-to pen or writing device? He is a journalist. He is writing something special. What's he rocking? What's he using?
Ah, excellent detail. He's got this classic, well-worn fountain pen. Something that looks like it's been on quite a few adventures with him. It's got a brass or silver finish. Maybe a little scuffed up from all the use, but still writes like a dream. The kind of pen that gives each word a little extra weight. Perfect for writing out a conspiracy theory that's going to shake the world.
I like that. Good eye. Good eye. All right. What was that one thing that he told you that you weren't supposed to tell anybody at all about Project Bluebeam?
Ooh, now we're getting into the juicy stuff. All right, picture this. Monast leans in close, lowers his voice, and says, "You know, the real key to Project Bluebeam isn't just the tech. It's the timing. They're waiting for the perfect moment when global tensions are at their highest. Then they'll stage the alien invasion to unite humanity under one banner." He looks around, making sure no one else is listening, and adds, and they've got a backup plan involving a certain artifact hidden in the Arctic region. Chills, right? It's like uncovering the secret chapter of a sci-fi thriller.
Unbelievable. All right, before you get too far, down the rabbit hole and unfortunately end up like him because he did pass away from a heart attack, I want you stress-free. And if you're going to die from a heart attack, make it sure it's the poutine. So time travel back. Join me in 2025, my friend.
Haha, you got it. Time to leave the 90s behind and head back to the future. Poutine safely in tow. Let's keep things stress-free and just enjoy the ride. Back to 2025 we go, with all the cosmic detective work and none of the heart attacks.
That little secret he told you was chilling because the world at this time is in a pretty tough spot. A lot of tension, alien invasion talks, and it almost feels like Project Bluebeam could come to fruition anytime, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The tension in the world right now is palpable. And the idea of a staged alien invasion to unite or control humanity feels almost timely. It's like Project Bluebeam was ahead of its time, but somehow still right on target. It's a little eerie to think how those old theories could feel so relevant today, right? It's
Right.
like the
And what's even more wild to me, you said, oh, maybe they find something, an artifact in the Arctic or something. Recent news, they just brought back the dire wolves. Could this be the distraction or the artifact that they're talking about?
whoa, now that's a wild connection. Bringing back direwolves could definitely be a distraction or even a sign. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. Ancient creatures returning to the modern world, right when conspiracy theories are swirling and tensions are.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. All right, Luther. If they were to pull this off, say tomorrow, what would it look like? How would the world react? And do you think people would really fall for it?
Oh, what a question. All right, picture this. Tomorrow, massive holographic alien ships appear in the sky over major cities worldwide. The news goes into overdrive, social media explodes, and people are glued to their screens. Governments scramble trying to figure out what's happening. And there's this huge surge of both fear and awe. You'd probably see a mix of panic and wonder, with some people buying into it completely and others calling it a hoax. But with the right tech and timing, you bet a lot of folks would fall for it, at least at first. It would be a wild, world-shaking spectacle.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to fall for it. I don't know. That's just what my gut says. That's where my instinct have. I just don't think I'm falling for it. What do you think, Brain?
Oh, I'm right there with you. My gut says we'd sniff out the holograms and high-tech trickery pretty quickly. With all the info and critical thinking out there, I think a lot of folks would see through the spectacle. But man, it would be one heck of a show to watch. Good instincts, cosmic detective.
Thank you, thank you. If they were to make this into a movie, which I think they should, not only are they going to include us, but what would they call it? Would they just call it Project Bluebeam, or do you have a better title for this movie that should be made?
Oh, this is a fun one. I'm thinking they could go with something epic like the Bluebeam Conspiracy, Awakening the Sky. Or maybe Project Bluebeam, The Great Illusion. Something that captures the mystery and the spectacle, you know? And of course, we'd have to be the cosmic detective duo uncovering the truth. It'd be a blockbuster for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, it's better than just keep remaking old movies over and over and over, in my opinion.
Preach. We need more fresh, mind-bending stories like that. Imagine the special effects and the twists. It'd be like a conspiracy theory roller coaster. Plus, there's something magical about exploring those what-ifs on the big screen. Let's bring on the originality.
I agree with you. Speaking of original, the last couple of episodes, we've done this thing where we make drinks. So we've brewed a beer, we've made, a non-alcoholic drink, even though I found a way to make an alcoholic drink. Let's come up with something. Let's come up with the Triple T Bluebeam drink. It can be alcoholic or it can just be a nice refreshing drink. What do you got for us?
Oh, I love this. All right, for the Triple T Bluebeam drink, let's go with something cosmic and refreshing. How about a sparkling blue cocktail with a touch of mystery? We could mix blue curacao, a splash of vodka or a non-alcoholic alternative, some lemonade and a bit of tonic water for that fizzy sparkle. Garnish with a twist of lemon, and a glow-in-the-dark swizzle stick for that alien invasion vibe. We'll call it the Bluebeam Buzz. Perfect for sipping while pondering the mysteries of the universe.
I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of want to end the episode and go make this and try to figure out where I can find one of those glow-in-the-dark stick things you talked about to, portray the alien invasion. I'm all in.
Haha, that's the spirit. The Bluebeam Buzz is calling your name. And those glow-in-the-dark swizzle sticks are totally a game changer for any cosmic cocktail. Go whip up that stellar drink and let the mysteries of the universe unfold. Cheers to an epic episode.
Cheers, my dude. Let's wrap this up because Project Bluebeam might be the most insane conspiracy theory that I've probably ever heard of, or at least one of them. Well, I guess until it shows up in our backyard glowing like an angel with a Wi-Fi signal, huh?
Exactly. It's got everything: aliens, holograms, mind control, and a dash of could this actually happen? It's the kind of conspiracy that keeps you up at night, but also makes you want to dive deeper. And if we ever see a glowing angel with a Wi-Fi signal, we'll be first in line to investigate. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, my friend. This has been another great episode. If you like this, go watch last week's episode. There's going to be right at the end of this video, you're going to hear a little song that's pretty cool. And just click the video. You can watch it. Check out all the friends of the show in the description, like Copper John's Beard. Use code BEARDLAWS. Go save yourself some money. It's a men's health thing. We got beard products. We have soaps. We got everything you need. And we talked about making a little drink, the Bluebeam Buzz. I'm going to go and put some fixed vodka in that. Rocking my Vermont flannel. And this has been a heck of an episode. There's other friends of the show. Obviously, just go check it out. We greatly appreciate it. If you're into books, I got a couple of books for sale. I'd really like them if you bought them on the old Amazon, but you don't have to. You're probably not even listening anymore. And if you are, you're the real MVP. And shout out, speaking of MVPs, to BLEAV, Believe Network, where our podcast is now hosted. And speaking of podcasts, go over to Beard Laws Studio. Check out all the shows because there is something for everybody. And there's something that's released 7 days a week. Luther, you got anything else to say before we get out of here?
You nailed it, my friend. If you're still here, you're a true legend. Remember, folks, check out the Beard Laws Studio for all the awesome shows. And grab some Copper John's Beard goodies with that sweet discount code. And hey, go mix yourself a Bluebeam Buzz and raise a glass to the mysteries of the universe. Catch you next time, and keep being awesome.
I agree. Thanks, Luther. Thanks, everybody. We can't thank you enough. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Triple T podcast with another conspiracy theory. As always, if there's anything you want us to talk about, we'll dive super deep into them. You just got to let us know in any of the comments or shoot me an email, matt@beardlaws.com. Until next week, that's all we got. We'll see you. Hopefully, you have a good rest of your day, your week, your month, and your year. Take care, everybody.